Hey, welcome to Tarkov Talks. Think of it like a podcast with a chance of murder. Today we're discussing the struggles of higher education with TheSix, who is recently going back to college. What's up, Six?
What's up?
Not a lot. So starting school up again for the first time in a number of years, huh?
Man, probably 12 years now I haven't been back to school. Back to
That is,
college. Not even high school. Back to college in 12 years.
that's a while. That's a while.
Yeah, today was my first day. I'm pretty sure I could have been the dad of every kid in my class, so.
I kind of expected you to have that experience. It's been a while since I last tried, and I was only in my, I don't know, like early 20s, and I was still like the old guy at the
Yeah,
time.
it doesn't help that I'm like a bigger bearded dude too.
Heh,
So like I just look like the old guy in class.
right. And your beard's got a little bit of gray going on in it also,
I
which
got a gray streak in my beard. Yeah.
you got the same streak I have, which is kind of funny, or pretty close.
That's hilarious. But yeah, no, I don't remember school being like this obnoxious back in the day when I was going,
Right.
like right out of high school.
So
Just
what feels
the whole
different? Like the first
process.
question, like does anything feel like noteworthy changed?
I wouldn't say like noteworthy. The whole process seems to be a little bit more obnoxious. It might just be this school, who knows?
That's
But
true.
like the signing up process. So like I tried to go back last semester, and my old school. I don't know if anyone else's school has this. They have specific sign up dates for new students, returning students, etc. Like you can only sign up for classes inside that or after that date.
Yeah.
But they would email you. So after you applied and you got your email and your like little web name and all that stuff for their website, they would email you and be like, "Hey, these are your sign up dates.
Mm.
So sign up when these dates hit." So I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Never got an email to come and find out that my time had already passed. They didn't email anything. Apparently, I just needed to go in and find out.
And it was just straight up too late.
Yeah, I was too late to sign up for classes.
That part's wild.
Like
Usually, like my experience, like you
I'm
just
sure I could have signed up at the very end, like right before classes. Like it wasn't. It was more of. It was too late because I had to have a meeting with a counselor, a meeting with a aide, um, do some orientation shit that they hadn't ever mentioned needing to do any of this to sign up for classes until I was like, hey, when's my sign up date? They're like, oh, it's this. But you need to do this, which takes 2 weeks. You need to do this, which takes a couple more weeks. And you need to do this, which is like a month out. I'm like, wow, okay, so not this semester,
what do they think they are? An MMO with time gating?
right? They
You
have
like the
time
gaming
played metrics.
reference? They legitimately do
But
because they
yeah,
do get paid for every day that your butt's in the seat.
right. And so, like, while that was partially my fault for not checking in, it was just one of those, like, what the hell moments. Why don't you just tell us what we need to do so I can get it all done in one day if I wanted to?
Yeah, Marty, because you were already like pre-registered with them or whatever, right? Before that point.
Yeah, I had already applied, so I quit my job. For those of you who don't know, I worked for the sheriff's department in my county. I quit my job because I wanted to go back to school. I was tired of law enforcement. I was tired of that type of work. You know, I was in the army prior to that. I was tired of jobs that had a chance of killing me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. I have my GI Bill from when I was in the military. Like, I'm just going to go back to school.
Yeah.
And so I quit. And then I tried to sign up and I applied to the school and I got accepted. Did my GI Bill stuff. So I had my acceptance letter for that. And then it took them like 4 months to do the rest of the stuff, which made it to where I was too late to sign up for classes that semester.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So this was kind of a struggle.
it was definitely a pain in the ass.
And you were mentioning that your GI Bill actually had something come up that you weren't expecting, more of a struggle than normal
This
as
one was
well.
kind of a two-part thing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, this one's kind of a two-part thing. So I have never made tons of money in most of my life. Like, even when I was in the army, you don't make that much money. You make like $32,000 a year for like E4, E5, or not E5. I think they start making like 40, 50. But like E3, E4s is like 30 to 35K a year. which means I got FAFSA. I got all the Pale Grant and all that stuff. I got the bog fee waivers. Um, my GI Bill is only 60% because it doesn't count a bunch of my time on active duty for some reason. I don't know why. I've tried to call and talk to them, and they just go, "Nope, that's it. We already went and looked at all your stuff." I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm not gonna sit on hold for another 4 hours just to try and argue and get hung up on again." So I took the 60%. What happens is, if you use the post 9/11 GI Bill, you get a book stipend, which this is actually a whole nother part we'll talk about. You get a monthly fee or a monthly like housing allowance, and you normally get your tuition paid for, like the initial tuition cost. But
Yeah.
depending on your percent, that's the only percent it covers. So when I signed up for
Mm.
classes, they're like, "Oh yeah, you still owe like a couple $1,000s for classes," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And
And you were
so because I
expecting
made too
not to
much
owe
money,
anything.
yeah, I was expecting it to all be covered. So because I made too much money the year before, and I know that sounds cocky, but it was like I made like 40K or 45K
Yeah,
before taxes
it
as
takes you out
law
of
enforcement.
any financial aid.
Yeah, so I ended up getting like one of the little mini student loans. Um, it was like $1,000 one or something like that, like a $2,000 one, nothing like crazy. Because I knew I would need help because I do not make money right now, not very much. I make like $1,000 a month, maybe 1,200. So I definitely
Not
needed
enough
the
to be
assistant.
paying for college.
Yeah, and so I did that, and they pretty much took all of that to sign up for the rest of my classes. So it was just, again, that was partially my fault, but another just a big hassle of trying to get back started into this higher education that isn't told to you when you talk about your benefits in the military. They're just like, "Oh yeah, post
College is paid
9/11
for.
covers your tuition." Yeah, it covers your full tuition, and then you get money each month.
You're like, sweet,
Yeah,
this is
that's
very much helps me pay for school and then helps me live while I go to school.
yeah. So with my VA disability that I have now and my GI Bill, like now I'm fine. Now I make decent money,
Yeah.
but it's getting started with all the initial costs, like books and parking passes. Holy shit! Like the cost of this stuff is crazy.
Oh
Like books
yeah.
have always been expensive, but like our our old school in our old hometown was like $40 for a semester parking pass or a year parking pass, I think. This school is $225 for a parking pass.
That's wild.
Yeah, $200 for a parking pass just to go
That's
park in their giant parking lot that's out there, which doesn't even have that many spaces for how many kids are there. Like I had to drive around for 10 minutes today trying to find a parking spot.
that's which feels like not how it should be
Not worth
while you're
25 or $225, that's for sure.
yeah, parking has always been such an odd thing to me because it doesn't feel like a thing that should be. Like I get why land is expensive, but
Well, like it should be included in your tuition. If you need to raise the tuition by $1 or two per unit to cover people's parking passes, and still give them a pass if you want. So like random people can't just park in your parking lot and take up spaces. I get that, but like
yeah, and if random people want to pay for it, that's their business.
there was easily probably 1,000 cars there today.
Huh.
And this is a community college, by the way, to everyone listening. This isn't a university or anything. This is just a normal community college.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive for something like that. Remember having similar
Yeah,
struggles last time I tried to go. Well, not the last time I tried to go. One of the first times I was trying to go to college because my parents made like not even good money. Like we got just a few. Like when I was in high school, or I might have been high school, might have stopped it, but right before high school, we got like reduced money lunches, right? Because we were pretty broke. And then just a couple years later, and not like any big raises or big money happened for my parents, but they made just enough that the financial aid considered them as being able to pay for my college, so I wasn't eligible for any aid. But at the same time, uh, like they didn't make enough to even be able to possibly pay for the school. Like there was no way, and
yeah,
so it
they're
was
cut
just
off for what they expect. I think it's like 35,000 or something like that for a single person and like 50,000 for a joint
Yeah,
is
and it
their
was
cutoff for financial aid, and
much
that's
lower
nothing.
years ago at this point too, so even more
Yeah.
wacky. No,
Well,
it
yeah. So
was
like the process of everything is just so obnoxious nowadays. Like like the story I was just telling you about trying to get my parking permit. So I
yeah,
go into the main office like I normally do to sign up and get my parking permit, and they're like, "Oh, you can only do it online." So I go home, go online, and go to sign up, and they're gonna mail me my parking permit. Like I can print out something, which is fine. Like I can deal with that. But they're gonna mail it to me, and I'm like, crap! I just moved, literally moved like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I need to change my address, so I go to my profile on there to change my address, and and on their website it goes, you can only permanently change your address in the office. So I'm like, God damn it! And I get back in my car, drive to the office, get back in line because it's busy as all hell.
yeah,
The like couple days before school starts. Get back up to the front, same lady, and to go, oh, I need to change my address. And she just looks at me and she's like, oh, you can only do that online. And I'm like, what the hell? On your website, it strictly says have to do it in person. She's like, oh, I know that's outdated. That was a couple years ago. I'm
you're
like,
like,
then someone
excuse
needs
me,
to change this. Yeah. Like I'm
right?
wasting gas and time driving back and forth to it's like a 20-minute drive to school, like back and forth to school in my place to do all this stuff. Like luckily they had a computer that was open that I could go do it on there,
That's
or
something at
else
least.
yeah, I would have raged. But I finally got it all done. It was just like, this is ridiculous how unprepared this school is.
Yeah, and no, it's kind of like always been that way too. Obviously, I haven't gone to that school, but where it just felt like they expected people to know things before they know stuff, and then their information isn't up to date on their, any of their media and their websites or their brochures or anything. It's not current, so you can't believe it. But they expect you to know how to do the thing, even though they're not telling you how to do it.
Yeah,
And
my
it's
dad made the comment when I was talking to him about it, um, saying I forgot exactly what we were talking about at the time, but he made the comment. He's like, "Yeah, it's like you're going to college or something and supposed to be an adult." And I'm like, that doesn't change the fact that the information is wrong,
yeah,
and
adults
they don't tell
and
you where to even find the information at.
and the places
They
that do
expect
they do
you,
find it are wrong. So
yeah, they expect you to just browse and read their entire website for wrong information and go by that.
yeah, and once
It's
you can't
just,
trust it, it's all null and void anyway, right? As soon as you realize
yeah,
can be wrong, you stop looking. It's
yeah, it's just, it's crazy.
it always feels like kind of a game when places do that kind of thing. But this has been kind of a beacon of negative. I'm out of the scav, but I would like to see, is there anything so far through this experience, your first day, that you find positive, that you've liked or
I
you're
will
looking
say
forward to?
some of my teachers are actually pretty cool. Like I'm taking oceanography as one of my sciences that I need, and my teacher, she's been a teacher at least here for like 16 years. She's super cool, very laid back. Not to get negative again, my other one sucks, but this one's really awesome. Like
Yeah,
she's really cool. It is going to be nice to kind of get back out in the community. I've been kind of a shut in. All I do is work and sleep for the
like
most part
talk
anymore
to
until
people that are
recently.
actual
Yeah, like
humans.
there's another guy in my class that actually has my major, which is kind of a rare major as it is.
Okay,
I'm going to school for meteorology, so
that's actually kind of
yeah, and he
interesting. Somebody
happens to
else
be in
is in
my
there.
class. Yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of weird because everyone seems to be like they're my son or daughter, so it's kind of weird to like try and make
Well,
friends.
yeah, because you're
But
going to be like what, 15 years older than everybody on average.
yeah, so like if they're all 18, like fresh out of high school, which most of them are freshmen, because I had to take the like starter courses because I haven't been to school in forever.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's a chunk.
yeah, they're all like that puts me at almost 17 years older than
You're
the
almost
I
double.
yeah, because I'm gonna be 35 this year, so that makes them literally makes me old enough to be their parents
That is that
or
is
parent. Sorry.
You could be both of their parents. That's how old you
I
are.
mean,
It's
I'm almost big enough to be both their parents.
oof, oof. If you guys are
Well, in
curious
height
about it,
and
check out his
weight.
stream. Link will be in the description below.
I'm just a big bearded bald guy. Don't worry.
Yep. But all right, that's the run. It was probably decent money, but nothing exciting. I did get shot at a little bit, but I think it was just a
Ooh.
scav trying to troll me. Um, so not too dangerous on this one. This has been an alternate image gaming show. We're doing this Tarkov Talks. We're going to start a new type of talk here soon that won't be with Tarkov in the background, different name. This one will still continue for a little while. So if you've gotten this far in, keep an eye out for the new show, and definitely let us know if you prefer this format or that format once it happens, because we will probably only be keeping one of them as they're going to be doing a pretty similar function. Although the other show most likely won't have subjects like this that aren't gaming related.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be pure gaming. Where Tarkov Talks, we've kind of had some
Variety of
off the wall or normal topics.
yeah.
On a last comment about all this stuff, like I completely understand the outcry from the younger generation of being in debt so much. Because if I didn't have my GI Bill, like I had to have taken out a much larger student loan to even go to school. So like
Yeah.
I understand it way more. Not that I was some boomer that's like, oh, I had to pay for school when I was your age,
I paid for
but I
school uphill
completely
both ways,
understand it.
Waits.
Yeah. No, I completely understand it, and I definitely sympathize with everyone trying to go back to school.
Yeah, I could see that has put me off of attempting it because I don't make a lot of money, but I make enough that they're like, oh, you could definitely pay thousands of dollars for school, and I'm like, that's more than I make. Yeah, but you make enough. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
that's
it's ridiculous what they consider a decent wage when both of us, even prior to this, barely made the median income of the entire country.
no less. I'm way less than median, and I'm pretty sure you are as well at that point.
I thought the median
But
was like 38,000.
I don't think so. But I'm not gonna look it up right
That's
this
a
minute
different
to be.
topic, but yeah, that's a different topic. But
Next time on
it's still
Tarkov
like
Talks,
the fact
income
that we're
disparity. Wait, no, not really. But
yeah, like
all
it's
right.
just crazy.
Yep. So again, all links will be in the description. The links for the website here and Six's socials and the other alternate image socials. And if you've gotten this far, like, sub, do all that stuff. And as always, have a great day.